and gentlemen, and welcome to FDoc, first day of competition here at Runeterra Academy. We're here with the opening match of the season. It's the freshman class between the Kronic Wheels on the blue side going up against Zenigma Darkstar on the red side. My name is Tajagar, or Taj for short, joined on the desk by the amazing Miles. David, Miles, how are you feeling about this kickoff match tonight?
And I'm super excited. This is the first game of the season and Runeterra Academy new league. And I'm super excited to cast, of course. It's going to be the freshman class. I'm expecting it to be a glorious bloodbath. In fact, I just tweeted that right now. Hopefully we get it. And, I'd love to see some chaos on the riff right now.
Yep, that is for sure. If you guys tuned in for our commencement stream, you'll know that we have our house systems implemented. Tonight we have a matchup between Kronic Wheels representing House Cloud going up against Zenigma Darkstar, House Mountain. And honestly, being a House Mountain member myself, I have to pull a little harder for Zenigma here.
Yeah. Well, I haven't picked a house. I haven't picked a house yet. I feel like the teams have to convince me to pick a side. I'm keeping an eye.
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm not sure where to put my loyalties yet, but hopefully it will be a good matchup. Maybe Team Cloud can convince me today since you're in Team Mountain. But we'll see. Now, to the audience, this is gonna be a replay because of some scheduled conflicts. Just to be completely transparent with you guys, So this game is not live. No spoilers in the chat, or else I will find you and report you to the admins. Anyway.
Anyway, getting into Champions Select, we're here. Kronic Wheels banned out the Mordekaiser and the Misfortune and the Galio. No real surprises there, except for maybe the Mordekaiser. I think it's mostly because the Mordekaiser is simply a contested pick between the top laners for both teams. For the side of Zenigma, we will see a Fizz and Talon ban, followed by the Evelynn. And the Fizz and Talon are, unsurprisingly, due to their standard lane assignments, a full focus on the mid laner for Kronic.
Yeah, makes sense. And there is a Misfortune OTP there on Zenigma Darkstar's bot lane. Their ADC does play a lot of Misfortune. Makes sense. They just want to pull that out of the bag. And Galio can be an extremely good synergistic pairing with that pick. So Shen being picked up, I'm not too surprised there. Very good tech in the top lane. The best 1v1 duelist too. Plus, he can support his team super easily while split pushing. It's one of the best picks, honestly, in competitive play, I'd have to say.
Yep. Shen being locked in for Kronic, Volibear, and Seraphine being locked in for the side of Zenigma.
I imagine that would be going to the jungle and support, I have to say, but those still can be flexed onto top lane, and Seraphine can also be flexed onto mid. We'll have to see what Zenigma Darkstar can do, but they have the makings of what could be a very strong dive comp. Meanwhile, Kronic Wheels pulling out the Nautilus and the Amumu. Holy!
Okay.
Hell yeah! There we go, Amumu.
Amumu.
Go ahead.
He is the. Let me see if I can get this right. Yes, the second most played for the jungler of Kronic Wheels, Total Todd. So here it is again with comfort pick over as they say meta, and honestly, I love to see it.
Honestly, man, I'd rather these players pick the comfort picks over the meta picks that they may not be able to play completely.
Oh boy, even another your game.
Yeah, even if it's a simple champ like Amumu, he can still do all those special power plays, especially when he gets to level 6 and gets a 5-man stun. That's always a super hype moment to be happy about. And Amumu will probably suffer a bit in clear speed and when it comes to health in the jungle, though. It might be a lot slower compared to the Volibear if that Volibear is going jungle and Ashe being picked up. So this is a very annoying bot lane to play against, I'd have to say, Taj.
Yeah, for sure. The Ashe slow and then immediate setup for the Seraphine root, even if she does not have her double cast available. And same even with if the Volibear can land an E, that's a setup for that kind of thing. So certainly annoying. It is going into the Nautilus. So with the rather squishy, non-mobile nature of the Ashe and Seraphine, you will have to keep your eyes open for those dredge lines coming out. For the final phases of bans, it will be the Veigar and Tristana, banned away by Zenigma, and the Diana and Akali banned away by Kronic Wheels.
Yeah, the Tristana makes sense. You don't want to get all in there, especially in the bot lane when you're kind of, I wouldn't say not too weak, but definitely vulnerable in the early stages of the game. It will be a Silas blind pick, and Why not? There are so many good ultimates the Silas
Yeah.
can pick up. There's a Mumu, there's the Mumu ultimate, of course, and the Shen ultimate, the Nautilus ultimate. So much stuff for Silas to pick up, and it will be the Victor in response. Now, this is something I didn't expect coming from these teams. Victor, very meta pick, I'd have to say, and Kog'Maw being hovered. Oh my gosh, there we go. I'd like to say that they do have the tools to go for a Protect the Kog'Maw. I would like him better with the Lulu, which has not been banned nor picked. But you know what? We'll take it. It is a hyper carry strat. There is a lot of appeal for the Kog'Maw. If he can do his damage and get the late game, that would be extremely good. And Yone being picked here.
It seems like both teams to me have very strong dive potential for that kind of engage. The Volibear jumping in. And it's just Volibear and Silas Yone all going in. And you got the Seraphine in the back who can use her ultimate. And with the properties I have of chaining across champions, can probably hit you from like 5 screens away. But I would say this side of Kronic can also see a big dive. You have a Nautilus, you have a Mumu, and a Shen, and Kog'Maw. Can you boost his range and just press R?
That is the question, though. Kronic, though, the question is, will they want to be able to go for that dive, or do they want to go for a more peel-oriented, try to stop the Zenigma from getting onto their AD carry and their mid laner, who seem to be their win conditions when these big 5v5 team fights break out, rather. So I think that'll be what I'm looking for, and the 5v5 team fight should be really something to look out for between these two teams. And it's up to Zenigma, I'd have to say, to be the one to be the engagers, while Kronic can sit back.
Okay. Yep. And yeah, I'm sure with the nature of, force Kronic to make a quick decision as to whether they want to protect the Kog'Maw or go for a full engage, like in the moments. If you can catch them in that moment of indecision, the fight will most likely go the way of Zenigma. That will be the end of Champ Select here on opening night of the regular season for Runeterra Academy. We're going to go into a very quick break, and we'll be right back to you with Game 1 on the Rift. Stick with us. Welcome to Summoner's Rift, ladies and gentlemen. It's the first matchup of Runeterra Academy's regular season. It's the freshman class. We have Kronic Wheels on the blue side going up against a big name here in the Academy and throughout amateur leagues. Zenigma, the Darkstar team of theirs, on the red side. Once again, my name is Tajgar, joined by Miles David on the desk. And we are very excited to be bringing this action to you. but unfortunately, we won't get any action soon, as both teams opt for a standard 5-point start.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed, Taj. Their name is Darkstar, but there are no Darkstar skins. Like, what is
True,
this?
good point.
What am I looking at
Though
here?
to be fair, none of those champions have a Darkstar, right?
Yeah, that's important. They should just win worlds, then make sure right, and give them all their champs of Darkstar skins. But anyway, that's a long way away from now. What we have is here in the moment. This game between the two, 5-point start between the two teams, just trying to play safe. Trying to feel each other out, and make sure everyone's on the level, and it will be kind of a peaceful start here in Summoner's Rift between these two teams, as both junglers will be pathing towards the top side. And around 3 minutes, we might see a fight break out between the top side of the jungle.
Yep. Well, we have a brief moment of respite for our caster's sake and for yours as well, dear viewers. You'll get to know these teams as time goes on, so we may as well have a formal introduction. For the side of Kronic Wheels, we have Nova Hyper 34 in the top lane, Total Todd in the jungle, Azen Trash in the mid lane, OB Seagull as the ADC, supported by Only Dill 777. For the side of Zenigma Darkstar, we have OB1 Shinobi in the top lane, Sei Karma in the jungle, Kizoni, I think, in the mid lane, Girth Brooks 7283 as the ADC, and unfortunately not on Leona, Cursed Leona for the Zenigma support.
Yeah, that's a shame, but he does have Zen engage. Practically has to engage with Leona. It's even better because of her range. Anyway, yeah, on the Seraphine there, and the Beast Seagull. We'll see if he gets fed. That's what I was going for with the
if he does
there.
get
But
obese.
anyway.
He's already at half health though, so he's looking a little skinny.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to deal with an Ashe lane if you're early game ADC. Eventually, though, Kog'Maw should be able to at least outrage Ashe and be able to outbully her once he gets his ultimate. But until then, he's kind of vulnerable, and that's why we kind of see him paired up with a lot of enchanters where they can shield him or they can heal him up. Instead, there is a Nautilus, and it'll be a bit of a problem, I'd have to say, sustaining through this lane, at least in the early game.
Yep. Mid lane is pushed in for the side of Kronic. Right. We'll see if he does pay for it. Trash is backing out. Does lay down the gravity field to lock up Sei Karma. He is locked up. And Ace and Trash able to get away. In the top lane, both of them are low, but Nova Hyper will fall back to his turret. And it looks like it's trades all across the board between both teams.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So no flash expended there in that mid lane. So good stuff by Ace and Trash to be able to make it through that gank peacefully. So that did set Volibear back a bit. Oh, wait. Top lane, though. Very close there.
Silas going in will bring down Nova to about 125, 150 health, but not enough to finish off the kill.
Yeah, there we go. So the priority in the top lane will go over to the side of Zenigma, able to get the duel between Shen. I did say Shen is one of the best 1v1 duelists as a tank, but against the sustain of Silas, it's just very hard to fight him in the early game, honestly. Eventually, once Shen gets his tankiness, you should be able to at least hold up in the mid game. But until then, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. And because Volibear did manage to get priority in the top lane, or rather, Silas got the priority in the top lane, Volibear is able to get the hook grab, no problem. Moon was heading there right
Karma's
now.
Going in the mid lane. There's a gravity field. It will catch the stun once again on Karma. Trash brought low. Soul Unbound. Mirror damage. It's not that much. And we still don't have a flash expelled by this victory.
This man has nerves of steel, I gotta say.
Yep. And no mana, so he needs to be careful.
Yeah, definitely. So, good ganks by Volibear, I have to say, putting some pressure onto the mid lane, but it is allowing Amumu to get a bit of head, and there's not really anything to show for it other than some pressure there in the mid lane, getting some priority there, and he wasn't able to double scuttle that Amumu. So, honestly, Total Todd, he's feeling really happy with the situation right now.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. He is rotated down to his own Krugs, so it looks like... Well, no, he cleared out his top side, but it looks like Sei Karma, due to his visits in the mid lane, has not been able to finish off his own red buff or his own Krugs. So he's a bit behind in that respect, and I'd say that Total Todd has completed his first recall.
Yeah, pretty much. And if you're a Mumu, you're definitely loving this early game for yourself right now. Mumu really wants to get to level 6 before having a high epic gank, possibly in the bot lane, where you can get them ahead. Or, it could work either in top and mid too. It could definitely work. But Volibear, at least he might be able to get a dragon here for himself if he's able to, get more control over the bot lane, get priority there, get the shove, and they should be able to do it.
Total Todd walking forward. Karma's in the bush. The Yona lane is slow. There's a stun coming through with the Volibear as well. There's a
Going in.
re-engage. The bandage toss. Obese Seagull goes through. The dredge line will land. Teleport will come out from. Is that the Silas? Yes, it is. Abduct will miss. And it will give them a chance to fall back under their own turret. Meanwhile, actually in the mid lane, Trash brought a little low, but it would relay a trade onto Zoni with the help of that gravity field. And Zenigma will turn their eyes to this Mountain Dragon.
Alright, so that teleport was used to put pressure onto the dragon so that it won't be able to contest it, forcing the enemy team back. And whoa!
Shinobi goes in, locks up Trash with the Space Steel comes out. It will catch Trash. Gravity Field comes out, and the Static Storm, whatever it's called. Stay United has been used as well, but here comes the rotation from the Dragon. There's a heal pop to keep Silas alive. He will stay up for the time being. No first blood quite yet. In goes Shinobi once again. There's a lockdown. Total Todd will fall for first blood. They're keeping up the chase onto Nova Hyper. Flash forward. Stun from the Volibear. A double kill for Shinobi and the side of Zenigma Darkstar.
Dang, that was extremely close. Silas almost went down there, but the healing coming from his ability is just too much for it to handle. I thought Total Todd would have the kill there, fortunately. So that's a 2-for-0 trade. Plus they have the dragon for themselves. So it's Enigma getting away with a lot for a lot in this early game.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned how that early game is going to be a struggle for the Shen up in that top lane. But now that Shinobi has a double kill plus the first blood bonus on the Silas, I'm assuming that things are suddenly going to get even harder than they already were for Nova Hyper up there.
Yeah, definitely. And he did go for the Balmy Cinder first, so not going to be able to deal with that healing and sustain from the Silas, especially if he tries to go for an all-in or a trade. So definitely, I'd say that Nova Hyper has to play a lot safer in that regard. Once he gets a Bramble, he should be able to at least negate the healing of Silas somewhat, but until then, it's not going to be smooth sailing in that top lane, definitely. And the Fed Silas is very, very oppressive and hard to deal with, honestly. So something definitely they have to look out for. Looks like they're just going for it.
Taunt lane up in the top lane. Total Todd needs to provide backup. He is not yet level 6, but Shinobi can still steal this. Oh, teleport will come out. That's going to be somebody join the fight. Out comes the stolen ultimate. It will catch both of them up. Shinobi on a killing spree finds a kill onto Nova Hyper. Total Todd is brought very low. Will we see enough damage? No, we will not. Soul Unbound damage proc just barely not enough to finish off Total Todd, but Shinobi wants to keep up the chase.
He's still going.
Have flash, and the chains will not land. Rift Herald will now be taken by the side of Zenigma Darkstar, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Zenigma just doing a good job pressuring around the map, getting the objectives for themselves. That was a really good teleport by Kiyazani in the top lane, taking advantage of the fact that Aizen Trash does not have his teleport up to respond to that. It was I think it was a bit of a desperate play for Total Todd to be ganking there in that top lane, especially when Silas is this strong. I think it'd be better if he had waited until he was level 6 just to confirm the kill, honestly. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, with Silas just level 6, he was the better Amumu on that moment.
Here comes the engage, a full combo, every ability used by the Yone. But Karma says, I'll be taking that kill, thank you very much. And Victor will finally fall to a gank there in the mid lane.
Yeah,
Shinobi goes in onto Nova Hyper. That Twilight Spirit Refuge will provide some refuge for the time being. Trade is partially nullified.
Yeah, hopefully the Spirit Refuge provides refuge. What else is good for my friend? But
maybe Spirit.
Anyway, yeah, there we go. Maybe it's an avatar thing. But anyway, back to the mid lane. Talking about it, I really think that Victor should have immediately used his flash just to survive that gank. Honestly, giving away your life is definitely not ideal at the moment. He's lost a lot of farm too, a lot of EXP in that mid lane. And Yone could continue to snowball off of that, and it's all about the tempo. If you're on the field with better items than your opponent, then you definitely have the big advantage. And coming on to the next objective, I think Zenigma will be happy with the map stage right now.
It will be a Cloud Dragon coming up. So it's House Mountain versus House Dragon, and unfortunately we will not be getting either of those souls for this first match. Bitter irony in that. We're not. Yeah. I'll see what soul we do end up with. But yeah, it looks like Zenigma are get priority in the spot lane rather often. And with the situation now in mid lane, it seems like they are going to be able to push Trash in and try to ensure they can take the second drink as well.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so Victor at least finishes last chapter, so he won't be hurting for mana anytime soon. He should be able to clear as well as he could. Meanwhile, Yone is on his way to Shield Bow, and at that point, he'll be extremely obnoxious when he gets there. Silas stealing the Shen ultimate. just to be there for his team, just in case Shen decides to show up. Plus, the dragon is coming up. It is the Cloud Dragon, as you said. So Mountain versus Cloud. How it is kind of profit, don't you think?
Yeah.
We got those two first, honestly. Even if it's not a soul. Speaking of which, chat, you should put in.
Fade United comes out.
Oh,
Looks
wait.
like he wants to head to the bot lane, but it will be canceled by Nova Hyper. But in comes Total Todd with the ultimate this time. Bandage Toss will land, as does the Curse of the Sad Mummy. It's a shutdown. 300 gold bounty going over to Total Todd in the bot lane. Only Dill is brought very low, forced to flash away. Karma wants to stay on him, but the tower forces him to back away. And that's
really good. Yeah, that was a really good timing. That was a really good timing for Amun with the gank there onto the top lane, being able to be there in time. Once Obi-Wan was trying to go for the Shen ultimate play, trying to keep this bot lane alive. So it didn't work out for him. He got punished, and now the dragon though will he be able to get there in time? Is a question. That's a lot of health.
Zonian is now all alone in the Dragon Pit. Karma goes in, will land the Smite. Dredgeline will land onto the Yone. It's trash flashing over the wall. They're going to secure the kill. OB Seagull will find it. Girth Brooks forced to flash because he's in a strange position. Infernal Soul is revealed, and the Dragon goes to the way of Zenigma at the cost of their mid laner.
Yeah, that was I'd say it's a fine trade for a team that kind of wants to scale up. Of course, it's fine giving away the first two dragons. Honestly, if you're the team that's scaling, the fact that they're able to get advantage of that means that they're keeping the lead somewhat close. At least, just checking on the gold that everyone has. It looks like it's just a bit of a disadvantage, I'd have to say, in the mid lane for the side of Kronic Wheels, but there in the bot lane, Kog'Maw has a decent advantage over Ashe, and you'll definitely want that. You want a B Seagull to be fed, because he will be the one doing the most damage in the team once the later game team fight starts. And the question is whether they will decide to fight at the third Drake or the fourth Drake. They could decide to just scale up, completely give up the third Drake. That is giving away Soul Point, and you'll definitely have to fight at the fourth Drake, but maybe it will be worth it just to get more items onto this Kog'Maw.
Yep. And yeah, you mentioned that it is going to be Infernal Soul this game. So that certainly does apply some more pressure to try to avert that soul point as long as possible. So, it's certainly possible we may see them try to go in when that third Drake spawns. Taunt will land in the top lane. Shinobi's going to get targeted by tower. Going back in with the Abduct. Spirit Refuge comes out. Total Todd is caught unawares by Zoni in the Tribush. Yeah, Total Todd making another visit to the top lane.
2 wards there on the Tribush. I would say that's not completely ideal. I have to say, but it happens. Sometimes the team synergy is way too on point. Oh wait,
it's stolen, but Total Todd comes out first. Shinobi is not able to get it out just yet. He has brought very low. Fate unsealed. It will be Nova Hyper going down. 2 of them. Total Todd following him as well. Trash stepping forward to try to at least get a trade. He's going to be forced to back away.
That was
top lane goes away to Zenigma.
That was so unfortunate. Well, Obi-Wan Shinobi almost died, but he was just barely. It was just he just barely had enough health to use the Kingslayer, get all that health back. So unfortunate for the side. Definitely unfortunate for the side of Kronic Wheels. It seems that things are kind of working against him this game. Oh wait,
see this?
Just be careful.
Ooh. Abduct will barely just not land, and if he lands that, it's over the wall. He presses stolen Amumu R, and I'm pretty sure Trash goes down.
Yeah, he will definitely have died there, honestly. Even if Adrian Trash decides to try to burst down the Silas, he would have regained health. And ooh, nice hook.
Dredgeline will land at max rank onto Curse Leona. Guardian proc, Death Charge as well, but out comes the Encore, but Curse Leona will be finished off by OB Seagull. Only Dill falls in response. Teleport comes out. It is Zoni on the flank. I don't think Seagull gets out of this one alive. Kill will be secured, and it's a 2-for-1 in the bot lane in favor of Zenigma Darkstar.
Oh, he didn't make full use of the Kog'Maw passive there. Whoa, what's going on? He could have at least put some damage there onto the Ashe, maybe. Gotten the wave to a bit of a better state that she couldn't push it in completely, but he just stayed there, stayed put, fortunately. But teleport onto bot lane means that they should have be able to get to the Rift Herald first, though. They're already on it. Looks like Zenigma will decide to just give it up, give that over. Wait, did they get it? Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they just finished it.
Right, very good. So Shelly on the side of Kronic. Let's see what they decide to do with it. Now, there are no more playthings, of course, so not as useful as it is in the very early game. But you'll definitely want some pressures on the tower. That's still some free gold that you can take for your team.
And where do you think they might apply that pressure? Do you think they'll maybe go bot lane, try to even it up there between two ADCs?
Honestly, I think they should put it in top lane because if
Top lane.
you put the Rift Herald bot lane, take the bot lane turret, you'll have to make Kog'Maw go up and make him vulnerable in order to be able to farm up more. And you definitely don't want to do that.
Yep. And
Looks like they
Total
might
Todd
agree
is
with
up
me
on top
here.
right now. Yeah. And Shelly is summoned up there in the top lane, just like you said.
Looks like they agree with me definitely. They want more farm for the
Big brain.
Kog'Maw.
Only Dill was caught out very up ahead. There's an Ashe slow going into the root. Forced to flash over the wall is the Nautilus to stay alive. And he will use it there.
Yeah, definitely. All right, 30 seconds till the dragon is up. They did pressure the top lane, I have to say. The tower did not go down. I think they could have waited for the Rift Herald at least longer. The other thing they could have done with the Rift Herald is use it to pressure into mid lane turret. You know? Victor's a lot safer to farm up rather than Kog'Maw, who can't really do anything if he gets caught out. Victor does have the gravity wall in order to have response, but now it looks like a fight will break out. Oh, it looks like they're not deciding to let this third Drake go. They want to fight for it.
Total Todd has ultimate ready to go, and that could swing the balance of a fight. He's going to go in ahead of everybody else. Zony is on the flank. Out comes the Ashe Arrow. It will only catch one. Encore will catch one as well. In goes Total Todd, but he catches two with his ultimate, but it's not enough. There goes Karma into the middle of it all. Brought very low is he and Zony, but in the meantime, it will be Trash finding the kill onto Curse Leona. Nova Hyper finds a kill onto Shinobi. Trash is brought very low. Karma not able to finish him off. Todd trying to lock down Girth Brooks. Out comes straight unsealed. Zony still had the ultimate ready to go. Trying to stay on top of a V Seagull. Will find the kill. Girth Brooks and Zony, the last two alive for the side of Zenigma. Nova Hyper, Total Todd, the same for the side of Kronic. And I don't even know if Total Todd can really finish this.
No, he should be able to. He should be able to.
Yeah.
The problem with the fight, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, wait. So, yeah, I'll let you continue this.
Moving down, but they don't have vision. I think that's the main deterrent. It will be the dragon going over to the side of Chronic Wheels. Banish Toss will not land. Just a bit further than max range. And they took the fight, and they got the Drake. And at the end of the day, I guess that's what they wanted, really.
I think that was actually worth. It was a good fight to take because you'll notice that Yone and Ashe did not have their mythic items during that fight, and she was basically tickling Amumu with her with her focus on the Ashe Q right there. So unfortunately for them, they just aren't able to outdamage the Kog'Maw, who has completed his Dragon Slayer. He's doing so much damage. Unfortunately, he died there at the end, not able to sidestep away from the Yone ult. I can't believe he actually still had that after the engagement happened, but
yeah.
It was good on Kazan to save that for the main target, which it should be that Kog'Maw, but the fact that Jungler was alive, Total Todd, he's very tanky right now compared to everyone else. He's just able to take that dragon for free. Well, not for free. It cost a lot of his friends' lives, but, free as they come.
Yeah, at the very least, even. It was a 3 for 3, so.
Yeah. Even and dragon, you'll take that trade deal. It's a good trade deal for your team any day. Especially since you're the scaling comp. You've just bought yourself a lot more time. It's definitely not Inferno Soul for the enemy team, and you can afford the time to scale up.
Total Toss brought out by the ward. Don't too late. Yep, don't go in there. He's practically on the turret.
Yeah, that would have been questionable. Just steal the Amumu off both tanks under the turret. Now, of course, Amumu and Shen are pretty tanky, so I feel like they would have survived that. Oh wait,
Total Todd has wind of this. Will cast out the Abduct. Total Todd tries to stay on top of him. Chilling Smite, but it's not enough. That will be the end of the action for the time being. Up in the top lane.
Yeah, there's a lot of tanks for Amumu onto the top lane.
Not. Shinobi's going in onto Total Todd. Nova Hyper is here to back him up. The ultimate will come out, but Shinobi is able to put enough space between him and the two of them to force them to call off this attack. Now in the mid lane, we have Trash going in. Gravity Field goes down. Out comes the ultimate from both members of Zenigma, and it is practically an insta-kill there. Trash, once again, falling to that mid lane gank.
Yeah, honestly, I think Trash needs to get possibly a stopwatch for himself. Oh, wait. In the top lane, though, you have a gank.
Have Karma going in, joined by Shinobi. Flash already comes out for Nova Hyper, able to sidestep those chains. He's locked up by the Everfrost. W will buy some time. Shinobi's staying on top of him. He does have Bramble Vest to try to alleviate some of that healing. And the top laner and jungle at Zenigma will be forced to back away.
Can't believe no tower has gone down yet. 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
By the way, with everything that's gone on so far. And Volibear is looking to counter jungle, but Mumu is there on the track, and we'll see. Looks like they're just gonna pass by each other like submarines in the night. No jungle 1v1 between the two tanks right
Mhm.
now. Okay, so Volibear did decide to opt into the Turbo Chem tank. Be
Yeah.
a lot faster. I've seen some Volibears opt into Divine Thunder, but I really think they need some tankiness on their team right now, Zenigma. Otherwise, he just gets blown up too easy, especially by a Kog'Maw who can just do so much damage from the backline.
Yep. And, you got the Kraken Slayer. And basically anything else than a tank item, you're asking to just get melted in a couple seconds. Plus, you got Shen and the Amumu. I think that Amumu is going to do so much in these fights if he can apply his passive. He's going to amp the damage coming out from practically everybody. From the Kog'Maw, from the Victor, even the Shen to a degree, because he is doing magic damage with that Q. And so I think eyes on Toto Todd to really be a big factor in these fights.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all those 5-man Mumu also. Wait, Killzone. Okay, has to flash out right
Forced to
there.
flash.
Yeah, definitely. Not ideal on your Yone, especially when you want to target the Kog'Maw in the backline, unfortunately. Just being a bit out of position there, realizing that the bot lane were on their way, and Kog'Maw should be completed with his next item. We'll see what he wants to go for. It is going to be a Rage Knife, so he is going for the Rage Blade build, not opting into... I've seen some hypercarries opt into something like Phantom Dancer in order to be able to move a lot better, or like something of that sort. But instead, he is going for Rage Might. He's going for that damage. So it will be up to Beast Signal's positioning to carry this one. And Trash.
Look at that trade coming in from Zoni onto Trash. He's under tower. He needs to be careful. Trash will just barely survive that. Almost a solo kill that time, but in comes Karma with the ultimate ready to go.
Oh man, that was very close. Honestly, he's only on this Yone. He's doing some good work, I'd have to say. These isolated 1v1s are going definitely in his favor, but it's all about the team fights, It's all about these 5v5s that these teams want to opt into to decide where this game will go, and he should be able to get the first tower off this. Okay, so first tower going to Zenigma's Darkstar.
Yep, and it is in the mid lane, so it's one of the more influential lanes when it comes to pressure. So that's certainly something to keep in mind. As this Infernal Dragon is started up by the side of Zenigma, Vision onto Todd. Toto Todd will allow him to steal the ultimate. In goes Todd, he gets steal the Dre. Encore comes up and catches 3! Huge ultimate coming in from Karma. Girthbrooks will find the kill, firing away from that back line. A beautiful gravity field placed by Trash, however, will buy some time for his team, but he will fall right after his top laner. Toto Todd following in quick succession. No, Toto Todd didn't die. That was a B Seagull, pardon me.
Wow, I can't believe.
A beautiful steal, but a big fight win coming through from Zenigma.
Yeah, definitely, and they're free to just go up to the Baron right now. So the question is, was it worth it to go for the dragon fight, or at least in that positioning? I think they could have been a lot better of a setup coming from Kronic. Just unfortunate that the layered CC from Zenigma was just too good in that point. There's Leona with the Seraphine, just put the perfect Seraphine ult, getting onto them while Amumu was using his own ultimate, so they weren't able to follow up at all. Then of course Silas came in with his stolen Amumu ult. Just everything went downhill from there. Everything went downhill. English is hard. Everything went downhill from there for Kronic. Yeah, there we go.
Yep. As I see you agree with me there in the chat that Encore was absolutely perfect. And then even more satisfying, I would say, because you don't see it as often, was Say Karma with the Stormbringer, the Volibear ultimate, landing right on top of 3 to get that bonus damage coming in. And that was just a sight to behold.
You just gotta love it when teams press R in the right sequence, It's just chef kiss. Beautiful. Now let's see if the other side of Kronic can do the same or try to attempt to, as they stave off this Baron push, because they're gonna be losing a lot of map control right now. And see, they're down 7,000 gold. That's gonna be that's gonna balloon to a lot more if they aren't able to defend.
Yep. Hyper will force Shinobi away. But we're still only at 1 turret down. But mid lane and top lane tier 1s for the Zenigma are very low, as are top and bottom for the side of Kronic. But that mid tier 1 still the only turret to have fallen this entire game, even with the Rift Herald claimed.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Kind of slow all in all.
Flank though, this dive.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Shinobi up top lane, but here comes
Going in.
Zoni in the bot lane. Now comes the Encore and the
Oh.
Stormbringer. 1-2, they fall in practically just as many seconds, and that will be bot lane tier 1 falling for the side of Kronic Wheels.
That was really sad. Honestly, at this point, you don't really need to defend your tier 1 turrets. You don't need to give your life for the tier 1 turrets.
Shinobi going in the top lane. We'll find the kill onto Trash. Now it's down to 1v1. It's a 4v1 of the bot lane. Zoni will finish off total Todd. Nova Hyper, the only man alive left for his team. Not for long. It's an ace all across the world, both in top and bot lanes in favor of Zenigma Darkstar.
It should be a first inhibitor, honestly, for the side of Zenigma Darkstar. Just well played all across the board. They're TPing in somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Obi-Wan Shinobi is able to be there in time. And just like I said, honestly, it's better you just give away the turrets instead of your life, because it was a stack of dominoes that fell there for the side of Kronic. They lost their lives, they lost the turret, then they lost their inhibitor after that because of the chain of events that happened. So honestly, just give away the tier 1. It's not that valuable this stage into the game. You can concede map control, but you can't give away your lives, otherwise it's just a snowball effect that will happen. Anytime that you're on the map, you're not there defending, that's land that basically Zenigma can take for free.
So you prefer that they surrender the inch rather than risk giving up that mile?
Yeah, they just gave up the mile though, so
Yep.
so much for that.
Maybe a mile or two, as mid lane inhib turret is now open. Zoni has finished off top lane tier 1, and like you said, bot lane inhibitor has now fallen. And no turrets have fallen for the side of Zenigma. So map control is entirely in favor of red side here.
Definitely. Now, looking at the itemization team, I don't really agree with Ash itemization. I think it's better if she goes for Lord Dominic just to be able to penetrate the tanks on the side of Kronic. I mean, if she really does want to play safe, then I guess Phantom Dancer is good. But I think there's enough protection for her, especially with Seraphine and the Volibear, and I don't think anyone's gonna be minding her too much in the backline. From the side of Kronic, because they have bigger things to worry about. So she can afford to go for a more DPS oriented build and go for the Lord Dominic's or the LDR, which could give her such a big increase in damage spike when it comes to these big team fights.
Yep. And speaking of paying attention to the back line, there's who do you really expect to go into the back line on the side of Kronic Wheels? They don't really have anybody who's made for that. Total Todd will go in. We'll get caught by the Encore, and that's going to buy him enough time. Karma to steal that dragon, but a 4-man Amumu ultimate will lock them in place. But it looks like it is just not enough. The fight is going in favor of Zenigma Darkstar. 800 gold bounty will be claimed by Total Todd, but it is not enough. He's the Amumu. Triple kill for Kizoni on the Yone. Beautifully played by him and the rest of his team. Infernal Soul Point for Zenigma, an ace as well, and they are marching their way towards that bot lane where the super minions have already made their way and taken down the first Nexus turret.
Honestly, the Seraphine also been really on point, I'd have to say. My compliments to Curse Leona. That was a really good team fight by them. They should be able to end the game off this too. The death timer seemed to be a bit too long. Kizone does have the damage, and looks like Zenigma Darkstar will be coming away the first win here. The GGs are already in the chat. Really, congrats by them. Well played in every team fight, I'd have to say. They were able to time their ultimates well, and I think that's the main thing that brought them the victory. It wasn't really big macro play or anything like that, or getting too far ahead of laning phases. We're just good, solid, fundamental team fighting from them.
That it was, for sure. And yeah, kudos to Curse Leona. Some immaculate Seraphine ultimates coming out. That triple that we saw, and then that last one, which locked up Total Todd, so he was not able to go in for another steal, which would have been quite impressive. But buying enough time for Karma to claim the dragon, and then the team fight all went the side of Zenigma from there. So they will take the first game in this best of 3 series on this first match, the first match of the entire season here at Runeterra Academy. Like Milo said, we're dealing with a replay tonight, so we can assure you this will be quite a quick break as we get ready to get into Game 2. Stick with us. We'll be right back to Summoner's Rift after this quick break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting into game 2 of this best of 3 series between Zenigma Darkstar and Kronic Wheels. I said it in that order this time because Zenigma's on the blue side, Chronic's on the red side. Both of them repping the freshman class here at Runeterra Academy. We just saw Zenigma take a rather convincing victory in that game 1. Let's see if Kronic can try to turn things around in this game 2. What do you want to see them change in their game plan, Miles, to see if they can try to extend this series to a full 3 games?
Yeah, I was gonna give my thoughts after the second game, but it's better we give it to right now. And it was the fact that they did pick Kog'Maw, but they weren't able to peel for him. They focused on trying to initiate onto the enemy, but there was no one to help the Kog'Maw. You saw in the last team fight that immediately they were able to get onto the backline from the side of Zenigma. Like Silas was there teleporting from behind, and then there's also Yone trying to target Kog'Maw, and this really why we see a lot of Lulu paired with the Kog'Maw, because once she wild growths the Kog'Maw, he can pretty much be self-sustained as a walking turret. And hopefully, if they decide to go for the same strategy, I'd like to see them, put a bit more emphasis on protecting the puppy, so to speak.
Yep. We'll have to see. Well, we'll have to see who they pick in that role to see if that role still applies. Getting to champ select the ban's first phase, we will see Zenigma ban away the Talon, the Evelyn, and the Fizz, so exactly the same as last game. Kronic is once again taking the Mordekaiser, but they're adapting their ban, so we'll see the Volibear and the Yone taken away. So they do not want to see that duo again in the second game.
I guess makes sense. Yeah. That was a really big problem for them on that side, and this time Zenigma are gonna take the Shen for themselves this time. Very high priority, it seems, in the freshman year, I'd have to say, between these two. Shen, of course, can do a lot. He can 1v1, he can split push, he can team fight, he can protect your ADC from whatever mistakes he can make if he goes too far out of place, or if people decide they want him for dinner. But anyway, it is decided that they are going to go for the Shen and Tristana getting locked in by Kronic Wheels. Interesting. Now, this is a flex pick. Tristana can go to the mid lane and can go to the bot lane. So, interesting decision by them. Trying to go for that, prioritizing that for their draft. And this does open up, if that Tristana goes mid lane, it does open up an AP jungler for the team, which is a lot more meta.
Leona locked in. So, unfortunately, we will not see Cursed Leona get his hands on his namesake champion in this game. We'll have to see if it does go to the full 3. Maybe we can then.
Maybe his Leona is cursed and he never should
get
his
good
hands
point.
on it.
Yeah.
Didn't even maybe that. Maybe the name is just a message to everyone. Like, don't let.
Do not. Yeah. If I'm in your lobby and I'm on your team, ban Leona. Speaking of bans, we'll see Zenigma's ADC. Let's see if I can remember it off the cuff. I should. I'm still learning these names. It is Girth Brook. Thank you very much. Girth. He's going to get his hands on his one trick, Misfortune. And letting somebody get their hands on a one trick is always not usually the best plan. But it seems like they just want a priority on these picks that they got kind of bullied by last game.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, shout out to our producer, PVS. You did a great job here, by the way. Thank you so much for helping us. And anyway, back to the draft. Since he helped you with the name, I decided to give him a shout out. But anyway, back to the draft. Misfortune and Alistar. Of course, Alistar can combine with Misfortune with the QW combo and do a lot of damage with the Misfortune bullet time. If he lands on multiple targets, we will see how that turns out. And it looks like Kronic Wheels, they're going all in on the teamfight comp. They have an Ornn on the top lane, going for that late game scaling, going for the Ornn items, which could prove to be extremely valuable when it comes to those later team fights.
Yep, for sure. And paired up with that Leona engage, big engage already set up for the side of Kronic Wheels, what that called the Forge God, and just with Leona's practically entire kit. I was 1v1'd as an ADC in ARAM recently by a Leona. Gotta say, it did not feel very good. I'm excited to see.
Man.
Yeah, kite. What? She stuns you every 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the point.
Okay, yeah, big engage coming out from the side of Kronic. Looks like they want to deny some forms of engage from Zenigma with the Galio and Aramis banned. Okay, Zenigma banning away the Veigar and the Silas, taking that away from the side of Kronic. They don't want to give that tool into the hands of their enemies.
Whoa,
Zed.
Whoa, hold up here. All right, Zed. It's top tier
Pentanet, are
for
you in the house?
LS.
Hello.
Yeah, Pentanet GG. Here we go. Coming in straight from MSI, playing here in Runeterra Academy. But anyway, yeah, Zed being picked up. That's an interesting pick this side. That means they really want to be able to go onto the Misfortune. Of course, be able to kill that. And Zed is also a very good side laner, so he should be able to match the Shen. Ironically, Zed versus Shen, just like in the lore,
Heyo.
might find themselves meeting in that side lane now. Pantheon being picked up.
I
Oh,
like
that's
that.
very interesting. Yeah, there's the
I like.
global.
Yeah, I like the instant lock in because correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Pantheon is a relatively common pick to these like hyper assassin kind of characters in the mid lane.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
basically, all right, here comes their full combo. You just press E and they literally do nothing to you.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
yeah, and he's got the lockdown with the stun on his shield, and then global presence in case they try to roam. So I honestly am a big fan of this instant Pantheon lock in response to the set.
I mean, Zed can still, try to shoot his shuriken from behind, but it
True.
definitely lessens the damage once Pantheon does have his Aegis Assault online. And wow, these two junglers, very interesting pickup. We have the Fiddlesticks and we have the Nunu. This is AoE. This is press R, AoE, the entire team fight. Let's go. Of course, Fiddlesticks can be a bit more unexpected than Nunu, who has to like walk up with a snowball or run up rather. And then immediately press R. That can be cancelled. Actually, both of them can be cancelled with the proper amount of CC. Wait, I'm actually not sure about the Fiddlesticks. I have to research that.
No. Fiddlesticks R cannot be canceled. He can be
There we go.
locked
There we
in
go.
place,
Right.
but
Yeah. So that's the difference between them, we'd have to say. And it's an interesting team comp, I'd have to say, between Chronic Wheels and Zenigma Darkstar. Of course, Zenigma, they do have a lot of ways to protect their ADC. They have the Nunu for the peel. They have Pantheon to be able to block a lot of stuff. Alistar to set things up. And the Shen, there's the last line of defense for Misfortune to be able to use her ultimate. Meanwhile, on the side of Chronic Wheels, I'd say they have a bit more of a 4-1 composition, with Zed kind of being independent to want to do his own thing, while Fiddlesticks, Orin, Leona, Tristana kind of want to be a roaming death squad playing together, taking down towers, and I think that's going to be Chronic Wheel's plan this game.
all right. So there's your prediction. Miles thinks they're going to have to work with the 4-1 Death Ball for the most part, see if they can try to take this game and extend this series into the full 3. Zenigma want to shut them down before they have the chance. Mm-hmm. So we're going to wrap it up here in Champ Select, and we'll bring you the next game, Game 2, right after this quick break, and we'll see you on Summoner's Rift. Welcome once again to Summoner's Rift, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming at you with Game 2 of the opening matchup here for Runeterra Academy. It's the freshman class. Zenigma Darkstar leading the series 1-0 on the blue side, going up against Chronic Wheels on the red side. We'll have to see if Kronic Wheels can turn things around after a bit of a smashing defeat last game. It's a 5-point start for everybody. I'm Tajigar. Taj for short on the desk. Joined once again by Miles David. We were together in the past. It's always a pleasure, my friend. Getting into this game 2. And like I just said, 5-point start, Resident Sleeper. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. All right. One thing that struck me actually when you were talking about was that you said you wanted to see Zenigma do stuff early, and I definitely agree because of all the global pressures they have. The thing about the Shen ult, it's not only a get off jail free card for the ADC, it's also a vehicle where you can make plays, especially all across the map with the Pantheon that you can just dive in if you set up the wave correctly, and that's the kind of plays I expect to see from Zenigma. If they want to be able to win this game, if they are able to get the bot lane ahead, just dive that tower again and again with the Pantheon ult, with the Alistar, with the Shen. Just show that Leona Tristana who's boss. You know what I mean?
Yep. Just make them pay for actually picking ADC in 2021. Imagine doing that. League of Legends. I'm excited to see what I'm assuming will be an Eclipse/Lethality Pantheon come out. Because since the team already has 3 big old tanks, I'm assuming he's not going to go with Gore Drinker, Sterix kind of Pantheon. Expecting like an Eclipse build path.
Yeah, definitely, I do agree with that. And the thing about actually Zenigma's comp is that they do lack a lot of AP. I'd have to say. So the magic damage will be lacking,
unless
to say the least.
AP
and yeah, that's something you look out for. I mean, Minu is the only real source of magic damage. I guess you can say Alistar, he does have AP scaling, but he's not going to be doing much in that case. So Orange pretty much just free to build armor. And in this 1v1, he is not having a nice time though. Nova Hyper is suffering against the Shen, and this is something that Shen can really abuse in the early game. Oh wait,
Flash Taunt will miss, but he's trying to stay on top. Ignite ticks away, but it's going to be a 1-for-1. First blood does go over to Shinobi on the Shen. He's on the opposite side of the matchup he was on last game. Like I said, 1-for-1 trade. He brought Ignite.
Yeah, he did. That's a normal. If you're playing a more aggressive Shen, that's a normal thing you usually do. Now, in competitive play, you usually still bring the teleport, of course. But if you want to play more aggressive Shen, it is an option. You do have your ultimate that can act as a teleport anyway. Yeah, Same United. So. He was able to get the 1v1 kill there, the first blood, but he didn't crash the wave, so Ornn basically loses nothing. And the fact is he missed the flash stunt. I think that was the most egregious mistake there in that one. But still, you take the first blood anyway. You are the Shen. He will profit from that. It's just that Ornn's not gonna have too much of a disadvantage still in that lane.
Yep. There's Leona walking in place. After seeing Shin Yuna, if you remember. And I think 2 tournaments ago, I am very excited to see any sort of Alistar action. See if they can live up to the legend. Now let's see if Curse Leona can do that.
He's looking a bit AFK right now, actually.
Yep. Shinobi's going to lock up Total Tot up in the jungle. He's on the Fiddlesticks.
I don't know about this. Yeah, level 2 to level 4. I don't know if there's a fight you're willing to take if you're Obi-Wan Shinobi. Yeah, they at least have intelligence of where the Fiddlesticks is right now, so... That'll be an easy cleanup for Nunu to be able to get the scuttle. And wait, let me check who was able to get the scuttle here. Oh, this will be a double scuttle. This was a double scuttle for Nunu. Well, Fiddlesticks was. Yeah, he's ganking the bot lane.
Rolling into that bottom lane, but no one's really set up properly for follow-up. But the root will come through from the Nunu. That's going to be enough. Leona trying to step up. Can't land any of his abilities, but it is Girth Brooks just walking and firing away as he goes. Picking up the kill, a successful gank in the bot lane, and a solo kill in the mid lane as Trash puts Zoni in the trash bag, expending all summoners and the Pantheon Flash there as well. So, big kill for Trash there in the mid lane.
All right, we don't talk about the fact that Alistar Flash W'd nothing, but anyway, besides that,
as an Alistar player, I most surely will not bring any attention to that because I've certainly never done that in my life. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, the fact that you're able to get the advantage there means that Zenigma is able to really get the dragon for themselves. Very good stuff coming from them. Honestly, it was a really good
top lane. Hyper is bringing Shinobi very low. Out comes the Spirit Refuge. It's going to keep Shinobi alive. He's forced to back away, and now we see possibly some action here in the Dragon Pit. Total top flash forward, lands a smite, but it's too early. It's going to be Karma securing the Dragon. Leona brought very low. A beautiful double knockup coming through, but it is not good enough. Double knockup, but double kills for the side of Kronic Wheels. And the Dragon goes to Zenigma, however.
Yeah, not too bad. Honestly, the response is pretty good. They're able to at least get some gold back. The gold lead is back in their heads now. And this is what I've thought about in the top lane. It was kind of a disaster that Obi-Wan Shinobi died there. It might be more of a disaster for Nova.
Zony's trying to stay on top of this Ornn. He will. Nova Hyper trying to finish off Shinobi, but he's not going to be able to do it. Ignite will secure the kill. And a good roam coming out from Zony will put his top laner ahead. I think.
Okay. We'll have to see as the lane goes. There is no teleport on Nova Hyper, so Shen should be able to freeze the lane and get more resources to himself. In that regard, he does have it shouldn't crash before Shen gets back into lane, hopefully, and he'll be able to get some resources back. But yeah, that was the result of basically Ornn being ahead is basically the result of the 1v1 and Shen not having teleport to contest the freeze that Ornn had, the slow push that Ornn had in the top lane. He was able to just get an advantage for himself in that regard. But the gank there, Kizune able to help out his top laner in that regard. Looks like Nunu will try to at least get the resource for himself so it won't go into the void.
See where we stand. Yep, a nice roam coming through from Zony, but they know now that that ultimate will be on cooldown for a bit. As Total Todd is making his way into the mid lane as well, Deathmark will be triggered. There's a stun from Zony and the Agent's Assault. That ultimate combo is going to be worth practically nothing. He is going to get out of there alive.
Yeah, nullified immediately by the Aegis Assault. So good stuff by Kizone to be able to dodge that away. And he still has the all-in power. Okay. I'm not sure if he meant to hit that minion. That's the thing. That's the thing with that one. Yeah, I'm assuming he's going for Zed, but accidentally hit the minion because, you know.
Oh, he might just want to close the distance, you know, apply some pressure.
Fair enough. That could have been the case too, but Nova Hyper is now being in trouble.
Shinobi's just bullying him up in the top lane.
Yeah, he does have his completed magic resistant boost. Oh wait, there's a gank here.
That's a big snowball, but it will be caught by those minions.
The timing was a bit off. They could have definitely dived Nova Hyper, who's not really tanky enough to be able to sustain through 1v2 yet. Fortunately, Nunu was there a bit too soon. He could have waited for the wave to crash and then gone for it. I think Nova Hyper would not have survived that one, especially since it's so low health. But you take the pressure anyway, and oh wait.
Armor is not level 6 yet, so he needs to be careful there. Leona's getting chipped away. Teleport will be channeled. That's going to be Nova Hyper joining the fight. No, never mind. It's not Nova Hyper. That's the blue side. Okay, it's Zony going forward. Flash forced out from only Dill. Meanwhile, action in the top river. It's going to be Shinobi getting locked up by Nova Hyper. He's going to flash over the wall to try it. No, not flash. He's going to use his E to get over the wall. He doesn't need to flash. Commerce were up very low by Total Todd's ultimate. But Shinobi, with the Stand United, is going to buy some time and keep his jungler alive.
A lot of ultimates used there in the top side of the jungle. Meanwhile, just some safe farming there in the bot side. But Girth Brooks on this misfortune. Yes, the lane under his control, honestly, with the way things are going. Oh, wait, you're going all in.
He's going to land the knock-up, but he knocks Obese Seagull out of the ultimate. Or we may have rocket jumped. Let's see if it's on cooldown. Now's a rocket jump. Okay. The pulverized missed on Obese Seagull, I think, because of that rocket jump, so he was able to stay out of that bullet time. If it wasn't for that, I think that combo would have done quite a bit, possibly secured that kill.
Yeah, that would have been really tragic if Chris Leona had yeeted his ADC out of the bullet time, the enemy ADC out of the bullet time. That's some very strong anti-synergy right there. But no, it was just Obese Seagull playing it pretty well, making sure that Leona was the one to take the brunt of the damage, which doesn't really matter much because she had her W up. Giving her a ton of magic resistance and and armor, so no problems in that regard. But there's a potential in that combo. That's something you look out for if you're playing against a Misfortune, right? Because when you have a big team fight and she's able to just unleash that bullet time against everyone, it's just very painful to live through.
I'm not sure if live through is quite the appropriate term
Yeah,
to
they
use.
probably won't be living. They will probably won't be living, honestly, if they get they get
Trash
hit by
gets
that. Oh
knocked
wait,
up and stunned. What a combo it is, but he's going to get out of there with the Living Shadow up to the safety of his own turret. Shinobi's trying to lock up Nova Hyper in the top lane. Flashes
wait,
forward.
what?
It's a response flash to Nova Hyper. They switch sides, switch places, but Nova Hyper seems to stay alive.
I kind of want to see a replay of that, or someone clip that, because I'm not sure what happened there. I think I zoned out a bit in OB signal.
Beast Eagle's got in a very bad spot, but beautiful double pulverize coming through, but he's fleeing from that Fatal 6 ultimate. Nova Hyper is joining the fight as well as Zoni with the Grand Starfall. Blizzard being channeled, expect big damage coming from this. It's not enough to finish off anybody. A double kill on the Leona, and his Girthworks are trying to get away. He's going to get locked up and finished off by Nova Hyper. And it's now just Zoni being finished off by Trash. Nice plays coming through from Kronic. They're going to secure 2 kills for themselves and the Infernal Dragon.
That was unfortunate. Obi-Wan Shinobi did not have his Stand United available during that time, so was not able to join the fight at all. It was a beautiful ultimate by Total Todd. Honestly, onto that team fight, able to get multiple people down, able to keep his ADC safe. The Pantheon tried to get onto the Tristana, didn't work out. Zed was there to back his ADC up. And it was overall a really solid team fight for Kronic.
That it was, ending in their favor, taking the Dragon as well, as both teams go for a reset. And we're going to see Trash now being paired up against Obi-Wan Shinobi, but not for long, as Nova Hyper is making his way back to his assigned lane. Assault will land. Twilight Assault. There's the Ignite as well, but I think it's going to be wasted. That's not enough to kill him.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're not able to kill Zed, but Jen beating out the Zed, he just has a lot. Doesn't have too much armor, so I'm actually surprised that he was able to do so much damage. And Obi-Wan Shinobi has to be a bit careful. Ultimate from Zed is up.
Yep. Call of the Forge God is not, however, so I don't think they really have the tools to try to lock him down. Lore matchup, Pog. Seems like Shen is winning. That's good, because he's the good guy. So I suppose that's relative.
I think Zed isn't the bad guy in the lore anymore. I'm not too sure. I haven't kept up with it because of all the new things that happened. But I'm pretty sure Zed's not completely the bad guy anymore.
Okay.
I don't know. Riot likes to go with the new direction of everything is good or bad.
Everything is morally gray.
Yeah, pretty much. Honestly, we see the Masha and Nox's stuff right now.
I don't care. Noxus invaded Ionia. They're the bad guys. Any Ionians in the chat?
Man, Ionia gets favored so much. They get all the good champions, for real.
Bro, because it's the Weeb Nation. Come on. Total Todd's going to get locked up there in the top river. It's going to call the Forge God with a single knockup onto Shinobi. Out comes the Blizzard, but it's going to be canceled by Nova Hyper. Well done there, trying to protect his jungler. Out comes the Stand United. It's not enough. Total Todd falls. Nova Hyper is trying to ensure that he does not as well. It's going to be 1-0 in favor of Zenigma up in that top lane.
Yeah, that was a shame. Fiddlestick started his ultimate, then just died before it could make it there. And really good stuff by Obi-Wan Shinobi. Speaking of weaves, Obi-Wan Shinobi right there. With the ninja moves to Stand United. Very good stuff from him. And Trash.
He's going to get stunned. He's probably going to get out of this root, however, with a Living Shadow. Not really. He's going to get rooted up. There's a flash and a Chilling Smite and a Comet Spear. Finishing him off. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we have only Dill being headbutted back towards the turret and the ADC. Out comes the bullet time. Solar Flare will catch absolutely nobody. Obese Seagull is low, as is his support. His support only Dill will fall. Girthworks trying to finish off the ADC. He will. Obese Seagull is now a dead one. It's a 2-0 in favor of Zenigma, as they are bringing that kill score line closer and closer to even.
Yeah, they're pretty much even things out now. They do have the lead.
They're heading
1,000. Oh wait, invade in the jungle here. Exciting times.
In the jungle. Total Todd being brought very low. Action top lane as well. Shinobi will find the kill onto Nova Hyper. Practically on his own turret. Total Todd just barely survives, but will be forced to yield those 2 camps. He was working on the Grop and the blue over to the side of Zenigma.
That was so sad. Kizune, he was not able to use the full extent of his spear. He just pressed Q immediately instead of charging it up. So Fiddlesticks actually managed to survive. Survive the jungle invades. Unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, the top lane, Obi-Wan Shinobi showing us the powers of the Hokage. Right there, getting the 1v1 kill over Nova Hyper.
Yep.
What am I doing with my life?
Okay, so there it is. I'm the zoomer, you're the boomer. You just referenced Naruto, I just referenced Demon Slayer. Okay.
I love
Uh,
Naruto. Okay, it's a really good anime.
I,
No
I, I
cap.
won't, I won't, I won't. I'll believe you. I've never actually watched. I watched one episode, but I'll believe you. That's good.
All right,
I'm
yeah.
sure it's
Too much
popular for a
filler.
reason.
Yeah, too much filler though
That's
for
the
people
thing.
to watch out right now. Anyway, back to the non-weave stuff. We have a game of League of Legends. I mean, we can argue
League,
this becoming a bit.
if you are a fan of League of Legends art style, you're a weeb. I'm sorry. I'll say it. That's my hot take of the night.
Dang, you're just
Put that
calling
on
people
record.
out
I'll
like
stand
that.
by. I'll stand by that. If you say the art style is good and I like it, yes, you're a weeb. Okay, that's enough
right.
filler from us. We're gonna get back on topic here in the game. Cloud Drake
Yeah.
in 25 seconds. It looks like the side of Kronic are contesting for Prio around that Dragon Pit. They have the vision. They're trying to get that bot lane pushed up.
Man, is that a sign? It is the Cloud Drake. Does that mean Kronic are going to be on their way to win this game? I have no idea. We'll have to see.
True. It's
We'll
a
have
Cloud
to see.
Soul. They are House Cloud, so we'll have to see
Yeah.
what that tells us.
House Cloud definitely wants to get a win under their belt, but it looks like it will be House Mountain getting the first Cloud Drake of the season.
That's not allowed. So, hey, to be fair, the
Okay,
first
it's
dragon
first
was a mountain, so maybe that was a sign. As only Dale will
Oh,
go in,
wait.
call the Forge God, will catch 2 in the knockup.
Love
Zoni
that.
will try to lock up the Orin. That's not the priority target. Out comes the bullet time, doesn't catch too much. Trash is in the back line, trying to finish off this misfortune. He's not going to be able to do it. Maybe he will. No, Deathmark is not enough with the Ignite. Everything is falling apart for the side of Chronic Wheels. Total Todd not even in the fight. And it's a 4-0 in favor of Zenigma.
I mean, really well played by Zenigma in that fight. But I question why Chronic Wheels decided to go for it when their jungler was all across the other side of the map. Like, you're not gonna be winning the Smite fight, or the 50-50 if your jungler is not there. That's basically 100-0. So, unfortunate team fight loss for them, and the gold lead going up for Zenigma. In this case, they're able to get the first turret too, and that will free up Pantheon to do a lot more things all across the map. They should be able to get the top lane turret soon if things going well. Obi-Wan Shinobi is faring very well into the Ornn 1v1, who is pretty behind when it comes to CS right now. And look at the ambush. Look at this. This disgusting.
Shinobi's
The
trying to
true
lock up
ninja.
Total Todd. He does get the bonus damage from his Twilight Assault. Zoni is here to help his top laner secure the kill. They will take it. Nova Hyper just wants to get out of dodge, and he will. And red buff will be secured by somebody. I'm assuming you'd rather want that on the Pantheon than the Shen. Trash forced to back away out of the jungle. And
I mean, to
control.
be fair, Shen does auto attack a lot, so not completely wasted if it does go to Shen, but definitely Pantheon will be able to get onto the priority targets more. And Shinobi living up to his name, being very stealthy in the jungle and going for an ambush there. And it looks like
Will not land because of the unstoppable on the Bellows Breath, but Fate is unstoppable as Nova Hype will be locked in once again by a Grand Starfall. Zoni coming in to help secure the kill. 14-8, this kill score line is flipped very hard, very quickly in favor of Zenigma.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Shroud of Book Camel's Back was that dragon fight where it was a 4v5 with their jungler not being there. And the health bars on Zenigma actually were so low during that fight. If Fiddlesticks had been there, that would have been a surefire win for Kronic, I'd have to imagine. Honestly, it's just unfortunate that Total Todd was just away when the dragon was spawning, which really shouldn't be the case. The jungler definitely should be first or second one to the mark. Well, with the support close in tow, just to be able to get control over that dragon area.
I see you in the chat, King Kinetic. He says, I can assure you the mid laner who called that fight was yelled at. I won't say you love to hear it because, we're all friends here. But, things happen. And yes, I agree. Like Lawless, no one should ever make a mistake. If you make a mistake, you should be kicked from the team.
Obviously. Roster changes. That's why Sven is gone from C9. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, maybe somebody has an opening for him down here.
Well, I'm trashing my boy Sven like that. Nah, he's a really good ADC.
Yeah,
but
I'm
anyway,
a fan. I don't care. Here comes the dive. It's only Dill trying to stay on top of everybody. OB Seagull is letting his support valiantly die to save his own life. Out comes Xenoblade. He's going to try and make sure it's some sort of trade, but Curse Leona does have the Alistar ultimate up and running, taking those tower shots like an absolute monster. And it's going to be a Four-man dive in the bot lane. Only Dill support losing his life. Total Todd on the flank.
Wait.
And that's So, he missed the other fight completely, and now it looks like he's trying to make a fight happen all by himself. Top lane, Nova Hyper is going to use Call of the Forest God onto Zoni. Is that Stand United? Yes, it is. Shinobi joins the fight. Will end the taunt. This will likely be Nova Hyper falling. To who? That is the question. It is Zoni. Trash now has joined his ADC in the bot lane. I'm not exactly sure what happened to Total Todd. I'm assuming he just backed away. But,
I'm still
after what we just saw, I'm not surprised he's kind of trying to hide his shame by hanging out in the jungle. Blizzard's being shadowed. Trash will get out with the Living Shadow. Curse Leona brought very low. Minions are not enough to finish him off.
Wait.
And
heal
popped.
I don't think that needed to be expended. There wasn't really any burn on Curse Leona. I think it would have survived. But better safe than sorry, I'd have to get, I guess, just making sure. But that was a very questionable ultimate from the Fiddlesticks. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. Usually when I see a Fiddlesticks, the surprise factor comes from when they go over, they ultimate over the wall or ultimate from a bush. Instead, he just stepped in front of the open, looked at the team, said, "I'm here," and decides to go in.
Speaking of being here, it's Shinobi who's on locale this time, trying to lock up Total Todd. Speaking of being locked up, it's only Dill in the jungle. He's going to try to get out of here alive. But honestly, I don't see that happening. No flash ready to go, trying to get to that blast cone. But it does not get the right angle he wants. He is going to fall. Shinobi now trying to keep Trash locked up in the mid lane. As the rest of Zenigma rotates, so be Seagull as well.
Yeah, it's hard, honestly, for the support, and you kind of don't have map control, and you have to be the one to be able to catch it. Oh, wait, the flash in.
Forward with the stun. Just not giving me enough to secure the kill. And now he's locked up. We'll see if they want to go in on this Nova Hyper. He misses the knockout. There's an ultimate. No denying that. Curse Leona is waiting in the bush. However, in comes the Alistar combo. Griff Brooks from the back line with the bullet time. A beautiful taunt flash. That's right. It's taunt flash, not flash taunt in that order from Shinobi. And they're going to kill Total Todd. And it's going to be Ocean. No, not Ocean. Cloud Dragon going over to the side of Zenigma, putting them on soul point.
That was definitely a Fiddlesticks ultimate. You're right.
It was. I won't add any adjectives to it.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate. Maybe if Leon was there, maybe ultimate, then you go for the Fiddlesticks ultimate, of course. They didn't get slowed, they didn't get feared, they were just out of range. Otad went for it, then ran out. Bad luck. It happens,
I think this is what happened. We saw Nova Hyper use that his Q to try to set up the terrain, and then go for a knockup with the Searing Charge. If it had landed, he would have caught two. And I think Fiddle was already channeling ultimate at that point. But the Q that Nova Hyper already sent out intercepted him, and he did not hit the terrain. So the knockup did not come through, and I think that is what resulted in such a open-faced ultimate, shall we call it?
Yeah, of course. Usually players don't just do stuff for nothing, They're usually there's backed up by reason, and sometimes the chain of events just doesn't work out. Kizune, though, I think that's how I pronounce it. Kizune. Very.
We gotta ask these guys, run through it before the game. Like, how do we pronounce your name?
If it is Kizune, then I see where the weeb show is coming from. But
all right, Shinobi's gonna lock up two with the taunt. Be Seagull. That ignite's ticking away. He might fall here. Yes, he will. There's a Comet Spear coming through to finish off Trash as well. Only Dill, the only one left alive. It will be he's not the only kill for the side of Zenigma, as they're gonna lock down 3 and this tier 2 bot lane turret. And things are not looking good for the side of Kronic Wheels, as Zenigma sits on a 3 turret and 10,500 gold lead.
Damn, Panther just goes in. He has the taunt. Yeah, there's nothing they can do. There's nothing to do. Legendary for Shinobi there on that Shen. Pretty impressive showing by him. Pretty impressive showing by the entirety of Zenigma. I'd have to say they are commanding this best of series so far. Winning super handily. They should be able to get this Inhibitor turret too. Looks like they just have to back up, be happy with the turret as everyone decides to leave. And that's a very dangerous spot for Pantheon to recall, but he makes it out. I'd have to say, so good stuff from Zenigma. So far in this tournament. They're just team fighting, and their skirmishing is really on point today. And that's what we said when I said that they have to make plays with their globals, they have to make plays with their ultimates, and they're doing a really good job on it. He's in it on this Pantheon. It's just all over the map. They're able to catch out multiple players on the side of Kronic, and that's what's giving them these wins. That's what's giving them advantages over these team fights. I think that fight over the third Drake was Kronic's best chance to get into this game, get the 5v5 that they really wanted, but it just didn't pan out for them. And right now, they are really on the back foot.
That they are. Yeah, like I said, it's now up to 11,000 gold lead. Soul point for the side of Zenigma. And I just noticed something. Obese Seagull is running Electrocute on the Tristana. I think you normally see Halo Blades, right? So I'm not sure if that's an accident.
Wait, I just realized now too. What the heck?
So can we assume that's an accident? You think that was...
I have to assume that's an accident. It should be Halo Blades on Tristana. Maybe a misclick on the runes?
Yeah, I mean, it could be like Explosive Charge, Auto, Q, Auto, and I think that might be enough to set it off. But, still you normally see the Halo Blades. We also seen the Conqueror on Girth Brooks on the Misfortune. I'm assuming that Conqueror is more of a standard pick for ADCs rather than Electrocute, but I suppose both of those are situational. Outcome to Fiddlestick ultimate, no flee. He was in vision, and that's not good for the side of Kronic. A huge bullet time from the back line from Girth Brooks, but he will finally be locked up, but not yet done away with. It's gonna be Zoni finding the kill onto Obese Seagull. Trash falls in short order as well. Nova Hyper joins them all in the grave. It's a triple kill for the Shen. Obi-Wan Shinobi, and it looks like the side of Zenigma just want to walk this one down mid before they rotate over to the bot lane.
Yeah, they have an open inhibitor there. They should be able to actually end the game from here, and it's just a really well played out team fight. Now, it was a good attempt by Kronic. It was kind of a desperate attempt to go for that fight, but they didn't really have any other option. But the fact that they were able to peel back in a really good position by Girth Brooks, using his ultimate, using a very high value bullet time for himself. Getting so many members locked, so many members damaged like that, it's just... it was beautiful to watch,
Yep. Kronic Wheels just rolling out one by one as soon as they spawn. It's enough to back them away after they take on that first Nexus turret. Looks like they want to turn around and take this one down as well. They want to end it right here, right now. Fiddlestick's ultimate, it's going to come out. That's a lot of damage coming through, but from Girth Brooks as well. There's another ace to put on their resume. Nexus falling. Zenigma Darkstar will take the victory in this first night of action at Runeterra Academy. They pull off the clean sweep 2-0 against Kronic Wheels in both games in very convincing fashion.
Ending the game with a 15,000 gold lead. I have to give my compliments to Zenigma, and it's a really good showing by them, honestly. And they may be, of course, that's definitely one you do. This is the first match of the season, and you really want to start strong. And Zenigma just did just that. Meanwhile, for Kronic, there's a lot of things, of course, to take away. There's a lot of things you can learn from watching the VODs of this game. A lot of things to improve on, especially when it comes to team fighting. And honestly, I could feel possibly a bit of tilt coming from them when things started looking doomed. So maybe be able to set things up and come back stronger next time they're assigned to play, and hopefully they can improve throughout the season and make their way to playoffs eventually.
Yeah, we did see some good plays from them in the earlier part of that first game. They did have the advantage for most of the laning phase, I would say, until Zenigma was able to turn things around as these objectives came up and as they started fighting over them. Yeah, well played by the side of Zenigma, especially in that second game. We saw them asserting dominance all across the map once they did start taking those fights. I was going to say something. I forget. That's what I was going to say. It's a feels good man moment for House Mountain, as Zenigma taking that series 2-0 will put some points toward them. As we mentioned in the commencement stream, the winning house, whether it be Mountain, Ocean, Cloud, or Infernal, will provide some extra. Being in the winning house will give you a little bit of bonus at the end of the season. So it's always good to rep your house in these matches, work with your fellow peers in those houses to bring the best out of all of you. And so being a member of House Mountain, I say, well played tonight, Zenigma.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're one of the if you're in the freshman
Hmm.
year, go. Don't be afraid to go to the sophomore, junior, senior class. Ask them for help, especially if they're in your houses. That
Yep.
way you can improve. You can improve your macro. You can move your map awareness. You can improve your movement around the map to be able to make plays that will benefit your entire team. Fight together as a whole. Be on the same page. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Enigma getting off to a very strong start in this regular season. They, took it. It's the clean sweep, as we said, 2-0 over Kronic Wheels. That's to be it for us tonight on Friday night, freshman night. There it is, the FF connection. Friday is for freshmen. Tomorrow night will be the sophomore league kicking off at the same time, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Be sure to join us here at Runeterra Academy for that. My name is Tadgar, Taz for short. I was joined tonight on the desk by Miles David. Thank you very much for coming out, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed the stream. We hope you have a very nice night, and we hope we will see you tomorrow night at 8 for the sophomore class. Not inaugural, for the first matchup of the sophomore class.